Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. I'm at the Minskoff Theater, which is currently the home of the hit Disney musical The Lion King. But for 2 afternoons, they have turned over their stage for the 25th annual GYPSY of the Year competition, which benefits Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS. The GYPSY marks the culmination of 6 weeks of intensive fundraising activities, and I caught up with many of the shows before they hit the stage. Okay, so here we are at the Minskoff. I mean, you've done the opening number this year, right? Tell me.
Well, yes, we're back. We used to do a lot of these opening numbers, and it's been like 10 years, and Michael Graziano called us because it's the 25th anniversary and invited us back to help create the opening number, so we're really excited.
So tell me what it's like working on the GYPSY of the Year.
We were both young gypsies before we became choreographers, and it's that time of year when, once again, everyone comes together, but it's almost like going to camp. You see all your friends from other shows, you get to work with people from other shows that you never get to work with, and you get to put up, skits and opening numbers, and so, we all end up having a great time. It's like you're working with, the best of the best.
And explain what the GYPSY of the Year is.
For 6 weeks, the Broadway community comes together and they raise money for all the organizations that Broadway Cares gives money to, and they compete to raise the most money. So after 6 weeks, we all come together at the GYPSY of the Year, and the person who raises the most money wins.
But then most importantly, some people may think most importantly, the show with the best skit wins the title of GYPSY of the Year.
Okay, I know this is very competitive. Talk about the first time you guys performed in GYPSY of the Year.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, long time ago. I'm trying to think what that was.
It would sometime in the late 90s, but what's actually more that comes to mind is I remember the very first GYPSY that I saw, and I want to say it was at the Virginia Theater, and there was a number from Victor Victoria that Pascal and Artie did, and then there was a number from How to Succeed, which Christy and Bill did, and I hear we may get a little touch of that today. They may revisit some of that. And actually what's amazing, I actually remember being in the audience, sitting like in the balcony of the Virginia Theater, now it's the August Wilson, and watching that number and thinking it was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. And 25, that's not 25, all these years later, seeing that again and remembering like, oh, I was so excited the very first time I saw the show, and it still is a great place to come back to.
And what can you tell us about the opening number?
Well, it's an homage to gypsies past.
Literally.
It's 25 years of GYPSY, so we are paying tribute to the very first GYPSY Theater that happened at the St. James Theater in 1989, hosted by Tyne Daly and Jonathan Adari. And just to give you a little hint, the ghost of Ethel Merman descends upon us. And
also you get the iconic overture. So I think that just sets the mood, and I think, we get a party started and we all have a great time.
So let's talk about how excited are you to be at this year, the 25th annual GYPSY of the Year?
Oh my God, we're excited every year, but this is particularly because it is the 25th anniversary, and we feel that our work in terms of raising money has been great and successful, and our audiences have been so enthusiastic with us in raising money for Broadway Cares, and we're excited about our presentation for the event.
Okay, which you put together. Tell me about the number.
The number is a tribute to Grand Hotel and in honor of Michael Jeter, and we're doing Let's Take a Glass, and we've recreated the number, copied it from when they appeared on the Tony Awards, and with a little twist, and we think it's pretty fun and exciting, and it's a very upbeat and great celebratory number.
Well, let's talk about how much rehearsal you get, because you're all busy doing shows and selling merchandise and doing everything. Talk about the rehearsal process.
It's been crazy trying to work before the show or between shows and finding a rehearsal space. We've been working on our stage, which is tiny at Avenue Q, and then to come to the Minskoff, which is like Radio City. But we've worked it out, and we really feel that it's been such a great group of people. They do their homework, and we come to rehearsal prepared, and it's been tough, but I think that the final result is great.
Well, let's talk about fundraising at the theater. I know it's very competitive. Everybody wants to win those prizes here. So what are some of the things you did at the theater?
Well, we've had some great curtain speeches by our cast members asking the audience to donate money, and we've been selling our Avenue Q pins and our signed posters and programs, and we've had people take pictures with the different puppets, and they take them home and show their family that they were at Avenue Q, and we've raised money that way.
And talk about what this organization means to BCEFA and how generous audiences have been with giving money at the theater.
Audiences have been so generous, and that's because they understand that Broadway Cares not only helps the Broadway community, but communities across the United States and all over the world. In fact, knowing that Broadway Cares is giving money to the typhoon victims in the Philippines has really been so great in terms of people giving money, because they know that that directly will help those victims of the typhoon. So it's been great. It's not just the Broadway community, but everyone.
What can you tell us about the number?
Yeah, well, I love to choreograph, and these lovely ladies, as well as some other guys from the show, have put in a lot of time and effort in between shows on Saturdays, mini Saturdays, and it's just really fun and quirky, and it pays ode to Fosse a little bit. We have a few gestures that were borrowed, I should say, from him, and it's basically, my inspiration was kind of just people waiting on a subway, or someone even mentioned waiting in the Equity Lounge, like waiting around forever and how you get so tired. So a lot of it's like heavy and quirky and fun, or like fixing your jacket, and it looks really cool. And it's great. So.
Okay, Chicago has been a part of the Gypsy of the Year since, they opened on Broadway. What does it mean to all of you to be a part of this event?
I think it's my first time, but I remember many, many years ago when I wasn't even... No, it is. But I saw one before I moved to New York. This was like maybe, I don't know, 15 years ago. I was just visiting New York, and I'm from Mexico City, right? So this director who had come to Mexico to teach us Rent, when I was visiting, she said, I have 2 tickets for Gypsy of the Year. What is that? We'll come. And I did, and I remember seeing this, and at that moment, I never imagined that one day I would be a part of it. So I'm so excited.
And there's nothing like the audience that comes to this, is there?
Oh, it's like a rock concert, I feel like sometimes. And, just to be part of the community as a whole, to really celebrate our togetherness. Sometimes we just go to work and, go home. And these opportunities are just so great to celebrate our community and what we've done as a community together for so many years, and to be a part of the Chicago cast now.
And the cast to do something like this, like the family to unite and bond in a different way, and it's good for us.
And it's great to support Nathan and his choreographic skills as well, and have an opportunity.
This is my first Gypsy of the Year, actually. I did Easter Bonnet, which was fun, but it was more of a skit and like trying to be funny and please laugh at our jokes. And this is like, let's do like a dance piece. Let's really dance. So
let's talk about the fundraising that's done at the theater.
Oh my gosh, we actually raised $33,000 and change this year. I mean, it's a huge effort on everybody's part. We always collect after the shows. One of our cast members collects after every single show. He shows real dedication.
Ryan Lowe is awesome.
Yeah, Ryan Lowe. He is unbelievable. And everybody really, because it's something that we all believe in, everybody tries to pitch in and do the best they can to help out. We sign posters and sell those and CDs.
Stage management and costumes as well, waiting for our costumes to, because we're all decked out until
put in the extra time.
The extra time from everybody.
It's the 25th annual Gypsy of the Year. It's rehearsing before your first day here. Tell me what you're doing and how excited you are to be here.
I'm actually part of a number that was done 15 year ago. Is that true?
1995.
Wow. In which these 2 were the original, and so I'm just kind of a filler right now. So why don't you guys explain the number?
We don't want to give too much away, but we're recreating a number that seemed to have a lasting effect on people. They're still talking about it to this day, and they've been begging me to bring it back for many years now, and I finally agreed this year because it's the 25th anniversary.
So what was it like reconnecting again?
Well, I've only been here about 24 hours. I just watched them rehearse, and I think everyone's in for a huge treat tomorrow.
Let's talk about how special the Gypsy of the Year is. This is like a Broadway rock concert. For first timers, what can they expect?
I love it because while we're all here for a certain reason, the numbers are funny, they're heartfelt, they're gypsies. I love that everybody comes together and works hard outside of the show and puts together these incredible Broadway numbers, really.
And they not only give of their time and talent, it's the orchestra is giving of their time, and it's
the crew.
And the crew. It's an amazing, amazing event. You can't go wrong.
And being back here, what it means to you.
Well, there's just nothing like Gypsy of the Year. It's a heartfelt, irreverent Valentine to Broadway, and there truly is nothing like it.
You know, you've all fundraised at your theaters over the years. I know it's really competitive. Everybody wants to be number one. Talk about the generosity of the people who give money during these 6 weeks and what that means to you as actors in this community.
Well, I always am amazed when I go out and hold the bucket that almost everybody who leaves that theater after spending so much money to see the show pours out their money. I mean, we spend so much money counting these dollars and $5 and $20, and I know at my theater, whenever we pull out like 100, we get so excited. It's like ding, 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 we ring a bell.
And then those extra patrons who bid like thousands of dollars for a backstage tour or a walk-on. I understand Kinky Boots had an $11,000 night the other night. Amazing.
Fantastic.
Wow. Well, I remember going back to 1991 and fundraising when I was doing Cats, and just coming out on stage during intermission, breaking character, and just saying, please, please, please give. Here's a poster. Come upstairs and see how short I really am. and donate some money. But it's just, I can't believe it's been 25 years.
You say that, and I feel like I'm so much shorter.
You need your hair.
I know, I'm going to stand up on my toes.
I have built-in hair still.
I only dance with women of stature.
So here we are, the 25th annual Gypsy of the Year. How many of these have you done?
I have to, they wrote it down for me. They said that I've written or performed in 20 sketches, a number. So I guess 20? I don't know, a lot. Are you trying to say I'm old? Rude.
How exciting is this, seriously? I mean, there's nothing, this is like a Broadway rock concert, isn't it, the Gypsy of the Year?
To me, it's like the best Broadway show of the year, because it's every single Broadway talent coming together to put on this unique, it's like opening and closing night all in one night. It's this unique performance. Jack is freaking out. It's his very first time ever on a Broadway stage.
Yeah, I'm very excited right now. I'm sorry, we're like seeing the lights of Broadway and I'm standing here. Anyway, yeah.
So tell me what today's been like for you. I mean, being a first timer here, what have you been told? What has he told you?
I really don't know much of how this is going to work. I'm just going to follow behind Seth, and we're representing our show, Disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this wonderful show, which is like filling houses. Everyone is loving this show. Talk about the show, how it all came about.
Sure. Disaster is a 1970s disaster movie, which Jack and I grew up obsessed with, but it's done as a musical, and it's all 70 songs that Jack and I also grew up listening to, even though he denies how old he is. And we wanted to feature, instead of one disaster, we wanted to put in every single disaster. So there's an earthquake and a tidal wave and rats and killer bees. We don't want to give it away. And it's essentially like one of those 70s disaster movies, but all the 70 songs fit into the plot in a very meticulous way. Like the songs really advance the plot, even though the song is perhaps torn between two lovers. Torn between two lovers. And we opened a month ago off-Broadway, and we just found out, actually this is the scoop, that not only did we make the Entertainment Weekly must list, but it's the must list that was just edited by Amy Poehler and Tina Fey. So it's a crazy big ass deal. Can I say ass? Just did.
I love these disaster movies. I loved Earthquake, Poseidon Adventure, Killer Bees with Gloria Swanson.
The Swarm.
The Swarm, Willard. I think Ben was the sequel, right?
Yeah, Ben. There was also the Snake movie that was called.
Then there was like Empire of the Ants with Joan Collins.
Well, that's earlier.
Okay,
this is specifically the 70s genre. It's neither 60s nor 80s. Very specific genre. Airport.
Okay. Let's talk about today.
Yes. This is my 6th time hosting Gypsy of the Year.
He's hosting. He's done.
Whatever. It's my 6th time hosting, and it is a big deal because I remember coming to see Gypsy of the Year when actually Jack was performing. We were all doing pageant. Jack was the understudy, I was the conductor, and I remember sitting like in the nosebleed section watching Gypsy of the Year and loving it so much from the audience. And the fact that I now get to host, and it's like my 6th time, I keep like sort of waiting for them to fire me, and as I say it, this may be my last one because I think I'm running out of material. But the point is, it's definitely it's a major event. I mean, it's all of Broadway in the audience, all of Broadway on stage. It's like the Tony Awards, but without the stress. It's just fun.
And let's talk about the 6 weeks leading up to this. I mean, it's very competitive. Every show wants to raise the most money, either Broadway or off-Broadway or national tours. You've been at a lot of these shows where people have given money. Talk about how generous the audiences have been.
The audiences are great, and I think what really helps the audiences is realizing this money is not just going to like scientists to do research. It's specifically going to people with HIV and AIDS to like pay for a soup kitchen, pay their rent. It's very literally being handed to people that need it. It's very, very competitive, the fundraising. Disaster, we're sort of infuriated because we only have 4 shows a week, so there's no possible way we can compete against shows like Spider-Man. But we're trying as hard as we can, and people sell really unique things. I remember when like John Ritter and Henry Winkler like sold like their shoe or their shirt. I tried to sell my sports bra, no one was interested. But the point is, it raises, the first one, the one with Tyndale and Jonathan Hidari, that was the very first one ever, raised $70,000 and everybody flipped out. We now raise like more than $1 million every year. And it goes like directly to the people that need it.
Thank you for doing what you do. Have the best time over the next 2 days.
I will have the best time, except for the massive sweating, because I will be nervous.
So here we are at the Minskoff Theater, getting ready for the first performance of the 25th annual Gypsy of the Year. How excited are you all?
So excited, yes. This is always such a great event. It's my favorite of the season, definitely.
All right, how many of these have you done?
I've done, 7, 8, I think, opening numbers, and many times representing the national touring companies.
Well, let's talk about today. What can you tell us about today's number?
Today's number, when we're out on the road, your real life is on pause. And we feel that many of these individuals have been out on the road. And so this piece really depicts that. And when you get to come home and see that person that you have missed so much while being out on the road. And on the road, you become your own family. And it's really great to have that support, but then to be able to come home to your loved ones. So, and Marty Thompson is here to provide vocals with his divas, which are absolutely terrific. And we're doing a Celine Dion song, I Drove All Night.
So, how much rehearsal time do you get? I mean, this is a big company.
It's a big company. We put it up pretty fast, get in, get out. But I think we've rehearsed definitely under 10 hours, possibly about 7 hours altogether.
Put up a show in the old barn.
Yeah.
There's nothing like the Gypsy of the Year or the Easter Bonnet or anything for Broadway Cares. Talk about the audiences that come here. It's sort of like a Broadway rock concert, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, because it's not only your peers, but it's also Broadway fans. It's Broadway industry and professionals. So you're getting to perform for all of your friends, but also the real insider fans that really know Broadway and really love the art. And but there's nothing like getting to perform for other gypsies, because that's what this event celebrates.
This is the culmination of 6 weeks of real intensive fundraising activities. I know there's competitions at every theater. We want to be number one. We have a 25-seat theater. We have a 200-seat theater. We have a 1,500-seat. Talk about the generosity of the people who give money during these 6 weeks and what it means to all of you.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And, the community comes together so much in support of this. And I know also for the national tours, they're out in these communities and they're exposing communities to theater. And that's so amazing. And the fundraising out there on the road is as so wonderful and as important as it is here in the city. So yeah, I think people they give their hearts, and my favorite time of the season is to go to the show and to hear the speeches at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And they're so the audience just gets behind it, and it's really terrific.
Here we are at the 25th annual Gypsy of the Year, and this is your first one, right?
Yeah.
So what has today been like for you guys?
It's been crazy. We got here, we got in costume, went on stage, spaced, teched, and now it's almost showtime.
And it's really fun seeing all the different shows coming together and putting together awesome numbers. So we've been able to watch some of the rehearsals, and they get to watch us, and it's just a really good energy, a good vibe around the whole theater.
So what have they told you what this audience is going to be like? This is like a Broadway rock concert. Just get ready when that curtain goes up here today.
I actually haven't heard too much about what the audiences are like. I've never been to one. I've never been in one. So this is like in it and then watching the rest of it. It's going to be quite an experience.
You can only imagine what it's going to be like with all of the Broadway people here and all of the ensembles and, cast here together really cheering for this great cause. So,
this is for Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS. I mean, just talk about the importance of this organization, what it means to the Broadway community, and what it may mean to each of you guys personally.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big deal. I just got off a tour, and we collected for Broadway Cares, and going out there every night with our buckets and just seeing people give and really care about this cause is like really great.
Yeah, we actually got to speak with a lot of the Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS staff members, and they just kind of remind us, what it was like back in the days when HIV and AIDS was really prevalent in the theater world. So it just kind of hits home because they're our inspiration. They're the reason that we're in this theater to begin with. So it's kind of, amazing that we can give back to them for helping us and all they do for us.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk. What was the tour you were on?
I was on Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, the musical.
So what was it like, collecting money? How generous audiences were across the country?
They were really generous. I was surprised because I would go out with my bucket empty, and then within 10 minutes of the show being over, it'd be full. We'd be selling posters like crazy, and people would love to just buy posters, take pictures, give money, and it's all for a great cause. So
Here's to the 25th anniversary, Gypsy of the Year. Yes.
Congratulations on 25 years, Gypsy.
From
Chicago.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Here's to another
Gypsy of the
25.
Year.
50. Another 50.
Here's to the 25th annual Gypsy of the Year.